It's all happening, ladies and gentlemen. It's all happening. Frankie from Flatbush, reporting from Frankie from Flatbush headquarters on the Jets organizational changes. If you remember, we talked on this channel a lot about what's going to go on with the extended staff, not just the coaches, not just the people around the general manager. What about all of the accounting people and people who do the contracts and this kind of a scout and that kind of a scout? Well, it's all happening, so let's talk about it now.
Hey, you! Yeah, the one watching this video. Frankie needs your help with something. See that join button under the video? Go ahead and click it and join the inner circle. It's just $5 a month. You get $5 of value from this channel a month, don't you? Cool. Then join the inner circle and help out old Frankie today. Click the join button. Frankie thanks you.
All right, in case you missed it, here's the news from Dick Chimney, the smoke blower. Earlier today, maybe perhaps you missed it, 10:51 a.m. in the morning time on the East Coast of America. Some changes under the new Jets regime, he says. Head strength and conditioning coach Mike Nicolini, out. Get out of here. You're not good enough. Phil Savage, who served as interim GM, is remaining, but as a consultant. He's now a consultant. David Sosi, that sociopath, senior director of football strategy, and Greg Nemay, co-director of play personnel, also, as others have reported, they were with the Jets for 8 and 16 years, respectively. So here it is, AG and Muji making their moves, getting some people out, moving people around, and we are, in fact, going to get new personnel. Now, this is a positive sign because, as we talked about a lot, if Woody was not going to allow this new regime to make these kinds of changes, we would have the same old Woody problem that we've always had. And we would have a lot less optimism for change and for winning. But now we're starting to see, no, he's going to let them do what they want to do. He's getting rid of David Sosi. He's getting rid of Nicolini. Let's bring in their own people. Now, we also got some news on the first Mooge Splooge. Let's hear about it. Will Parkinson and Mike Halise are reporting, per source, Broncos scout Rob Payton is leaving to join Darren Muji and become the Jets co-director of player personnel. Rob has been with the Broncos since 2017, 4 years before his uncle, George Payton, became the Broncos GM. Muji, blah, blah, blah. So this is the first Mooge Splooge of the season. We got him. This guy, Rob Payton. And the only real kind of reporting on this is coming from Will Parkinson. He says, was in the works for a bit. A good get for the Jets. Now, Parkinson, whatever you may think of him, yes, he has a terrible voice. Yes, he's from Cortland, and fuck Cortland. But nonetheless, he does have sources, and he does have good information at times. And so for things like this, there's no one else going to tell you whether it's a good get or a bad get. Who the hell knows? Maybe Connor Rogers knows, but that's about it. No, you're not going to get much out of anybody else when it comes to these type of people. Now, so that's all we know. So he says it's a good get. Rob Payton, all right. Now, if we take a look at some of these people in the media guide, here's Savage. He used to be senior football advisor. Now he's a consultant, and he was down at the Senior Bowl for us. He's basically helping out with scouting. He might be let go, honestly, after the draft is over with. And then here's you have to wonder about some of these other people, but here's David Sosi right here, senior director, football strategy. He gone. No more. Get out. And this guy has to do with our contracts. So what's exciting about it, now I don't know if David Sosi was doing a good job or a bad job, obviously, but I don't think our contract strategy has been great. No one has said so. And so, look, this is a lawyer right here. He's a member of the bar and all this. But obviously, the new regime didn't want him. So they said, get out. and we're going to bring in somebody who can handle the salary cap in our contracts better. One thing we didn't do, for example, is buy insurance on Aaron Rodgers' contract, which was very stupid. Why? Because if that contract pays out the insurance, you get money back as far as your cap is concerned the next year. So it sounds like a good thing to buy when you have a 41-year-old quarterback who has had injuries in his past and, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this guy obviously told us not to buy it. That's dumb. You got to buy that insurance. So that's just one example. Of course, I don't know all the things that David Zossi was all up to, but I don't think we were too ahead of the game with some of these contracts. So you got to wonder about these people. They might all be out. Now, some of these people are probably going to stay. Now, here's Greg Nemej. He's gone. He gone. And this is our pro personnel scout. And I was critical of Greg Nemej because I don't think we did a good enough job with our pro personnel scouting. Now, we don't know all the ins and outs of what happened. Maybe he made great recommendations to Joe Douglas, and Joe Douglas didn't take them. Or Woody Johnson vetoed it. We don't know. But the fact of the matter is that our pro personnel decisions were questionable at best over the last 2 years, and Greg Nemej is now gone. So, some of these other people may stick around, or they may be gone too. Some of the low-level people you probably keep around. But Ray Agnew you probably keep around. But we'll have to see. Now, as far as Rob Payton, the guy we got, who's he? Well, it's hard to find information on him. But look at this young fella. Now, this is a couple of years old. This is the Denver Broncos media guy. Rob Payton, this is it, a young fella. Rob Payton enters his 7th season. Then he went through his 8th season. So he'll be on his 9th season now. With the Denver Broncos, 2nd year as a regional scout. So this guy just has a scouting background. He worked his way up very quickly, and Will Parkinson says he's a good get, so we got to take his word for it. Now, he does have a connection to the Moogster through the University of San Diego, where the Moogster also played, and then college career UCLA. So a California guy coming east, and he was a defensive backs coach for a season for high school. 10 years ago. So this seems like a guy who's just a young guy who's on the rise, and now he's moving on up with us. And I would expect a few more of these kind of hires. But the good news is, with these people, the good news is, the best news, we don't know if they're going to be successful. We don't know. We don't really know. I mean, let's be honest. We don't. But what we do know is Woody's letting AG and Muji cook. Whatever they cook up, we'll see. We don't know. But the good news is that Woody's being flexible enough that he's not forcing them to keep the legacy personnel. I want to keep David Zossi. No, we're getting rid of him. If Muj wants to get rid of him, he's gone. If AG wants to get rid of him, he's gone. That's it. And we're bringing in other people. And then, however these people do, we'll judge them on their efforts going forward. But that's really good news. I mean, we're getting that, Nicolini being gone, for example, means we're going to get a whole new training staff, basically. You think about it, we're going to get a whole new strength and conditioning and regen and prehab and rehab and all the doctors and the medical people and the training. We're getting all new ones, probably. There's going to be a whole new staff because they fired the head guy. So now the next head guy is going to come in and hire his people. And hopefully they'll be better. And we should give them as much money as they want because those are very important people. Preventing injuries is correlated with winning in the NFL. The less injuries you have, the more likely it is you win ball games, as opposed to something like penalties, which is not correlated with winning at all. FYI. Not that it's good to have penalties, but there's no correlation with winning. Whereas with injuries, there actually is. So let's see so this is all very exciting. So we're going to get new people. Now the new people came in with Joe Douglas and we all got excited about that. And then they stunk and we didn't win. They weren't good enough. So hopefully with this regime, we get the right people in here. We pay them the right amount of money and all goes well. With that being said, I'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. Everybody tells you to subscribe to their channel. But I'm trying to get up to 1,000 over here. If you like old Frankie, you got to subscribe to the channel. Please click the like button. That also helps. And if you want to go the extra mile, click the join button, join the inner circle. I would appreciate you joining the inner circle to support old Frankie for $5 a month. What could be better than that? All right, I'll see you next time.
If you've made it this far, you made it further than most. You are probably one of the most elite video watchers on all of YouTube. That being the case, a secret mission awaits your presence, if only you will take action. Click the join button below this video to learn more. Click the join button now to join an elite force of outlaws where adventure awaits and the thrill of living on the razor's edge is ever present.
Non-pertinent. How do you log that non-pertinent?
No drug talk?
They use codes to hide their patron phone numbers. And when someone does use a phone, they don't use names. And if someone does use a name, he's reminded not to. All of that is valuable evidence.
Of what?
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy?
We're building something here, Detective. We're building it from scratch. All the pieces matter.